Chase with ChaseNCredit. Another beautiful morning. God has blessed us with some sunshine somewhere. He blessed me with some blood pumping through my veins. I just really love when that happens, right? Here back to give some information about business credit. That's important, especially if you're in business, and also important if you're not in business, because you got credit, and you at least got personal credit, and talk a little bit about personal credit monitoring. You need to be monitoring your credit, and they got various services out there. You got a really good one that I like to have my clients sign up for, which is Credit Check Total, which is a decent fee monthly, $29. And it's an investment. It's an investment in yourself because, again, you don't know what you don't know, right? So, same thing with your credit. If you don't know what's going on with your credit on a regular basis, then it's your free game to not only predators, but you're also free game to things that they could be helping your credit or you could be benefiting from, right? So when you have your credit goes up and or your utilization goes down, credit monitoring gives you ability to see that, right? So it's one thing to just be making monthly payments, but it's another thing to be aware of your credit balances going down, right? So you can see that on your balances, but you might not be able to see that on your credit availability across the board. And one of the other benefits to having a paid credit monitoring system is it's going to give you your FICO score, right? I know there's other services out there that's free and it pops up in your email, but those are giving you your Vantage score. And there's from what I've experienced and other circles that I'm in, that professionals that focus on business and credit scores and profiles, right? There's a big difference in the Vantage and FICO scores. And the difference could be as much as 30, 40, even 100 points. So that's a big gap. So you don't want to be thinking that your score is a 720, and then you're going to apply for a mortgage, and then you get to the realtor and the mortgage broker, and they pull your credit, and your credit score is a 600. That would be a big letdown, and then you're going to show them the email from one of the free credit monitoring ones that give you your Vantage score and say, look, it says my credit score is 720, and then you're going to remember this guy that wears vests all the time, that's doing these videos all the time, and you're going to remember, man, he said that this is a Vantage score, not my FICO score. So maybe you want to spend a little money, right, and invest in yourself so you can get your true FICO score, so you'll know exactly where you at, right? It could be really worth the extra coins to invest in yourself to know exactly where you are as close as possible, especially if you're preparing to make a move, a serious move, a serious purchase, like a house, a car, a business loan, line of credit. Those are big investments. So invest in yourself to know exactly where you are, and paid credit monitoring services will be able to get you as close as possible, and letting you know where you are versus the free ones that just pop up online or in your email box. So hopefully that has helped you, and letting you know that there is services out there to help you in your credit path, and that's for personal and business, right? So definitely business. You're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to invest in yourself to get to where you want to go. So in all you're getting, get some understanding that you're gonna have to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, why should you invest? Why should you expect someone else to invest in you, right? All right, little morning motivation. Seeing where someone posted, I think this is a good one, I had to share it. It said, you'll realize who's really there for you when you're at your worst. So, I can recall a couple times when I was really at my worst, right? I felt like I was at my worst, and I can share some stories on that, right? But like some of those times was like yesterday, and when I can reflect on it, and that's when people would flee, right? Even family members, right? And that's when you really get to see, who's really ride or die, right? When the money's gone, the glam and glory is gone, the credit's gone, the businesses is gone, the bling bling is gone. When all that's gone and you're down and out, and you patting your pockets and nothing else is around, right? And to be honest, you might find yourself by yourself, really just probably you and God, or when that time it was just me and God. And that's when I had to really realize that it was me at my worst, who was really around, and then who was just selling a bunch of wolf tickets when all was really going well, or so I thought. And that's when I saw that things really wasn't what I thought they were. And really, to be honest, that's when I realized that's what I needed to see. I wasn't going to see it any other time. There was no way for me to see it any other time. That I needed to go through those periods. I needed to go through those periods to really see me and find out who I really was. Because I didn't even know me. And that's the best thing that really could have happened to me. Yeah, so to get to that point where I was brought down to my knees and realized that I couldn't rely on, all those people that was around that wasn't really real, and also to realize that I wasn't even being real. I had mask on, and a lot of those people around me had mask on. Was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because that gave me the opportunity to realize who I really was, or start to begin to realize who I really was, and realize that I was becoming to learn who I was, right? Because a long time ago, my growth was stunted. So it's kind of hard to explain unless you've been through something like that. A lot of people don't want to go through that because a lot of people don't want to realize who they really are. It's easy to mask that, cover it up with drugs, alcohol, to fill that hole with something, and to live to be anything other than who they currently are, to be something other than who they really are, because it's too painful to be who they really are, right? At least that's, or maybe I'm just talking about me, right? I'm not, none of y'all ever dealt with that, right? None of y'all ever dealt with, they wanted to be anything other than who they currently were, right? So I'm just talking to myself, right? But again, I just had to learn some lessons in that period, and those are the best lessons that I learned in my life. And there was even times where I was a little upset that, man, why did I have to learn this so late in life, right? Why couldn't I have learned this earlier? But the fact of the matter is, time takes time. God wanted me to learn it when I learned it. I wouldn't have valued it, evidently, if I had learned it earlier. I wouldn't have gotten as much out of it if I had gotten it earlier. I wouldn't have did as much with it, or what I'm doing with it now, if I learned it a lot earlier. So I just know what it just is what it is, right? So, but hopefully you got something from that message. You're learning who you are and the people who are around you. Hopefully you're learning that if they're really real, who's around you, and you're valuing that, and you're going from there. And hopefully you're learning that if they're not real, don't waste your time, right? Don't be a people pleaser and move on, right? Don't waste a whole lot of life being around people that's not really real. And because at the end of the day, it's exhausting, right? It really is to have this mask on. You come home, you take off this costume, you're putting it over in a corner, and you really ain't fooled anybody. More importantly, you ain't fooled yourself, right? So, but it's really all about learning who's really in your corner when you're at your worst. Who's really there when you're up against the wall, when nothing's really working, and who's really there accepting you for who you really are, right? Not because of what you have, or it's really sometimes about what you don't have. So hopefully you got something out of that, and you can do something with it. I know I did, because it brought back a lot of memories for me. So have a great day. Get out there, be chasing some credit. Get out there and be reflecting on some of the times when you was at your worst, and who was in your corner, and maybe who's still in your corner. even after you was at your worst, and just go from there, right? And we'll talk to you soon.